I wish I had it my way. Get it how I live it, Christian Dior. Louis Vuitton. Top down on the highway. I will be living like have it all.
Even with all that money, I still need love. Sitakyuka embali nami, niamini ma. See, even if I had that money, I still need love. Sitakyuka embali nami, niamini ma. How would I live my life without my boo? So boo, if I ain't got you. I will give it all away. How would I live my life without my boo? So boo, if I ain't got you. I will give it all away. All this stuff is cool. Don't mean much if I can share it with you. Mansion is an empty room. Without you here, I don't know what I would do. All the money can't replace what you give to me, baby. Stay, don't go away. Boy, you mean so much to me. How could I live without even my with baby? All that money, ooh, yeah. I still need love. Sitakyuka embali nami, ooh, yeah. Niamini ma. See, even if I had that money, I still need love. Sitakyuka embali nami, niamini ma. How would I live my life without my boo? So boo, if I ain't got you. I would give it all away. How would I live my life without my boo? So boo, if I ain't got you. I will give it all away. And I'll give it all away. If it's all I had to do to make you stay. And there's nothing that I really wanna change. I just wanna see us live another day. Yeah, I'll give it all away. If it's all I had to do to make you stay. And there's nothing that I really wanna change. No, I just wanna see us live another day. How would I live my life without my boo? So boo, if I ain't got you. If I ain't got your loving, babe, I will give it all away. How would I live my life without my boo? So boo, if I ain't got you. I will give it all away. I will give it all away. I will give it all away.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.
Like the waves of the ocean, bittersweet magic potion, easy off your pain.
Like a rain in the summer, ginger root, lemon dower, ease your pain. Like that first sip of beer, I feel fizzy when you're near. Ease my pain.
Napping fresh out the shower, ginger root, lemon dower. Ease my pain.
I'll be your purest escape.
A refuge in your landscape. Can you ease my pain? You'll be my lamp in this shade.
As this song slowly fades, can I ease your pain? Can I ease
your pain? I will ease your pain.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, boys and girls. How are we doing this particular morning? The time is 6 minutes past 11. My name is Caroline Murote, and this is Sheversations right here on Power Radio. This is the place to be for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, in case you have anything to tell me, because I have a lot to tell you, you can do so at Caroline_Murote at Caro Murote on TikTok, and at Caroline Murote on Facebook and on Twitter, and at Power Radio across all of the different platforms. Sasa Sahi, just like to share with you a saying of a particular civil rights movement activist by the name of Ralph Abernathy. Abernathy is a gentleman who fought in the United States, known as a nigger, known as somebody less than. And this is what he said: bring on your tear gas, bring on your grenades, your new supplies of mace, your state troopers, and even your National Guards. But let the record show we ain't going to be turned around. I'm going to say that again for the ones at the back. Bring on your tear gas, bring on your grenades, your new supplies of mace, your state troopers, and even your National Guards. But let the record show we ain't going to be turned around. So this is to whom it may concern. To whom it may concern, right? Because Kenyans are determined to be free, and Kenyans are going to be free. It is our God-given right. It is enshrined in our constitution, and we're not having it any other way. Okay? And this morning, I just want to know, kama umepitia CBD, kama umekunywa tear gas, kama mimi, because everybody is crying, everybody is sneezing, everybody is coughing. So kama kuna mtu mwenye hakuwa anajua what was going on yesterday, this particular morning, for sure, your tear gas tumeikunywa, we have breathed it in, and that's a very sad situation, a very sad situation. So when we come back from this break, right, even as we get into our show, we're gonna look at what a few freedom fighters, what they've done across in history, over the years, and what does it look like to be somebody who's truly fighting? What have the ones who have fought before us experienced? What has it been like? But other than that, tumekuwa na Maibu, got you, that's why Dhaka and Jolie and Jevu, and then Dawa, tumepewa Dawa by Wanja Wahoro and Junior Nyongo, and now tunataka toa sisi na Blinky Bill, and then ama aje tunajiuliza ama aje Blinky Bill and Lisa Odor Noah. And my loves, this is for you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
before na sitarudia. Wenye sikio basi msikio, kipata shida sikimbie, na kama kawaida mtulie. Hawawezi amini vile tukukwama bro, kaza tulikaza mpaka leo tuko hapa jo. Mara mingi sana nilidhani nitazama jo, back to the bone mini nani kichwa ngumu jo. I said wake up, shake up, sorry hizo vaka don't stress me. Right here, right now, mini najipanga don't vex me. Mungu akifanya kazi mimi nina kimya. Ati niko aje mimi niko fantastic. Radi imejipa oh damn niko kadi. Ace of spades in my deck. Patience pays run that checker. Cut them keys open doors. Kati neza ifanya tutaifanya tena.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Zimeni bamba zimeni, ukweli wangu wa dhati ndio hii. Wanishikisha zimeni bamba zimeni, ukweli wangu wa mambo ndio hii. Wanishikisha
nakutamani nakuhitaji mama, siji kukosoa kwani uko poa mami. Run it up, back it up, wacha nikupende, oh yes. Nakuhitaji mama, siji kukosoa kwani uko poa mami. Run it up, back it up, wacha nikupende, oh yes.
That you want me for real. When your body, girl, I know body, baby. I step, pull up the receipt, girl, I pull up the receipt. My boy and my fancy kubambana. Girls, they be rocking it one by one. I step, pull up the receipt, girl, I pull up the receipt.
Nakutamani, nakuhitaji mama, siji kukosoa kwani uko poa mami. Run it up, back it up, wacha nikupende, oh yes. Nakuhitaji mama, siji kukosoa kwani uko poa mami. Run it up, back it up, wacha nikupende, oh yes. Zimeni bamba, ukweli wangu wa dhati ndio hii. Wanishika Simani bamba, simani ukweli wangu wa mambo ndio hii. Wanishikisha, wanishi. Oh na na na, show me that your love is real. Oh la la la, pull up slow, real close to me. Nakutamani, nakuhitaji mama, siji kukosoa kwani uko poa mami. Run it up, back it up, wacha nikupende, wacha nikupende, oh yes.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Nimepitia majanga makubwa lakini Mungu halali. Ningepotea nisipatikane lakini Mungu halali. Nasema kweli Mungu halali. Mungu halali. Si lazima unikumbushe kuwa mimi mwenye dhambi. Najua tena sana, najijua tena sana. Si lazima useme kuwa mnyonge kweli hana haki. Naona kila siku, tunaona kila siku. Kwa neema nasimama, ila mwamba ni salama. Binadamu hanitishi, natembea kwa imani. Kwa neema nasimama, ila mwamba ni salama. Binadamu hanitishi, mimi natembea kwa imani. Nimepitia majanga makubwa lakini Mungu halali. Ningepotea nisipatikane lakini Mungu halali. Nasema kweli Mungu halali. Mungu halali. Ashajionyesha, anajionyesha, atajionyesha. Ashajionyesha, atajionyesha.
Hanging in the hustle of life as I become something much more than I could try. Tried in the shadow of death, though I arose and I have made beyond my bad. Though you beat me down, though you kick me down, though you beat me down, though you kick me down.
Majanga makubwa lakini Mungu halali. Ningepotea nisipatikane lakini Mungu halali. Nasema kweli Mungu halali. Mungu halali. Ashajionyesha, anajionyesha, atajionyesha. Ashajionyesha, atajionyesha.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Mungu halali, just in case you thought kuna shida mahali, it is not from heaven. That is Mungu halali, Blinky Bill, Chemtai Sage, Sarah Mitaru, Wambura Mitaru, and Lisa Odor. Noah right before that, Blinky Bill pia alikuwa anatuliza ama J featuring Lisa Odor. Noah What is on your playlist? Let me know. Hashtag Sheversations, hashtag Sheversations with Caroline Murote, hashtag Power Radio, hashtag Art of Expression. Those are the hashtags that's the place to have conversations. And now, I want us to know the shorties for the tear gas. The shorties when you hawaogopi. Shorties who said, I'm gonna be tough and I'm gonna fight for my freedom because I want to inspire somebody mwenye amechoka. Amechoka kabisa ataki maneno ya Kenya because they feel like it's hopeless. Here are people who at some point felt exactly like you do right now. Most likely the same way, very similar way, probably even worse than you might be feeling in the season being a Kenyan. Na sasa tunaanza with our fave, the shorty for the trees, Wangari Maathai. So, she was alive from the 1970s until 2011. So that's a beautiful 40-something years. And she fought against dictatorship, against land grabbing. She fought against deforestation as well as women's marginalization. And what did she do? She founded the Green Belt movement to mobilize women to plant trees, linking the environment with empowerment as well as politics. And she spoke boldly against the Moi regime. So tumesema we hate this regime, we don't like this regime this, regime that. She spoke boldly against the Moi regime, protesting illegal land acquisition and destruction of public forests like the Karura Forest as well as Uhuru Park. Na sasa alipitia nini? Wacha niwaambie, shorty for the trees really fought for our country. She was beaten by police during protests. I want you to tick. Kama una relate, umeona, umesikia ama umepitia, just weka tu tick. Beaten by police during protests. Arrested and imprisoned multiple times. Labeled as a mad woman. Divorced and bitter. Un-African by politicians and media. Sisi tumekuwa labeled treasonous criminals, sindio? Tumeitwa unruly. We have been called nini ingine? Hakuna kitu hatujaitwa as a generation, sindio? So sisi na Wangari Maathai, same WhatsApp group, right? Alafu pia she faced tear gas, tick, death threats, and smear campaigns. What can we not relate with? Tear gas. Yani alilia machozi, but not because she was sad about anything. Lakini, alas, akasema, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue fighting. And as a result, these are the things that she was able to achieve. She was the Nobel Peace Prize winner in 2004, the first African woman ever. After kukula tear gas. So kama umekula tear gas, you're one step closer to being a shorty for something, okay? So please don't give up. Pusi give up mapema. And because of her, over 50 million trees were planted in her lifetime. And what about now? And she has also been instrumental in saving Karura Forest, which we love so much. Who, nani apendi kwenda Karura Forest? Who at some point has not gone to Karura Forest and really enjoyed their time? And she was also instrumental in saving Uhuru Park from development because walikuwa nataka iende wapi. Imagine it was going to become a commercialized business, something, a business park or something. And she also inspired a whole new generation of environmental activists globally. So I want us to learn that defending truth and justice will cost you, as we have seen through Wangari Maathai, but it can also change the world. Sindio? And as Kenyans, we must protect our public land. We must amplify women's voices in leadership and never fear being too vocal. Because if Wangari Maathai had feared being too vocal, then where would she be right now? And she's not the only one. Ni wengi. Shorties for the something, ni wengi sana. Tukona Fun Milayo Ransome Kuti. Your Kuti, the fella Kuti, sounding like that? Yes, you're in the building. Akombali sana. And she was with us from the 1920s to the 1970s. It's just very interesting how this shorties for the activism and waku fight, they never leave a full span. They never leave a long lifetime. And I think wanakuanga wamechoka. I think they normally need rest and I can't blame them. Yeah, so 50-something years she was alive. And what did she do? She fought against British colonial taxation and gender exclusion. Yani, she was fighting against westernization. And what did she do? She led thousands of women in protest against the colonial taxation and corrupt chiefs. Imagine thousands of women in the streets wakisema no no to taxes, no to corrupt chiefs. And she also organized boycotts, sit-ins, and massive marches, which we're familiar with. She also founded the Abuekuta Women's Union and co-founded the Nigerian Women's Union. And alipitia nini? Pia yeye, Tunatik. Nakumbuka Tunatik, we're taking. She was beaten during protests. She was labeled in another country unwomanly by colonial authorities. Are we seeing a trend? You are going to be called unruly. You're going to be called indisciplined. You're going to be called misbehaved when you fight against injustice. So let that not deter you, okay? Because we see that the people that we look up to, the people who did the right thing in times when their people were being oppressed, were going through that exact same thing. So izo vitu hazifai kutushtua. So she was labeled unwomanly by colonial authorities. Her home was attacked and burned. Does this happen in our country? We see it, we hear it, or it has happened to us. Tick. She died after being thrown from a second-story window by soldiers during a raid on her son Fela Kuti's compound. They threw her out of the window. So these things are not new. These colonial tactics that we're seeing are not new. Lakini, despite the horror of how she died, despite the pain that she experienced in her lifetime, these are the things that she was able to achieve. She successfully forced the king to abdicate in Abeokuta. Okay? He's like, no more. I'm done. I'm tired. Pia, she pioneered women's participation in national politics. Okay, power to you. And she's known as the Lioness of Lisabi. The Lioness of Lisabi, guys. And something that we can learn from this is that grassroots women can bring down entire regimes. Shorty for the village, shorty for upcountry, you are the one, okay? We have women like this who are showing you that the voice of grassroots women actually matter. And you should never ever underestimate the power of organized women to force accountability, okay? So where you are, you can create impact. Imagine if all the mamambogas in every society wakatae. They go to the police stations, they go to the chief's place, waambie Z to make a ta. Imagine if all the women working in your neighborhood said for 2 days in a week, 3 days in a week, hatufanyi kazi. And then they come and they put pressure on you, wanakaa po inje. You know, they make noise and they say, we're here to peacefully demand that we be treated with the dignity that our humanity demands. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. Sasa, tunaruka. We've started with Kenya, Nigeria, and now we are down south, South Africa, and we have the one and the only Miriam Makeba, otherwise known as Mama Africa. And she was alive from the 1950s to the 2000s. Are you seeing this trend? All of those women passed away in their 50s. So there's a cost to be counted. There's a cost to be counted, right? She fought against apartheid. Right? That is the system of white minority rule against a black majority. That is what happened for a good many decades in South Africa that officially ended on paper 1994. She also fought against racism because what do you mean? So the nigger word in South Africa is kafa. You kafa, you know? That's nigger. And that's a word that even when I lived there, I heard a couple of times. Quite disgusting if you ask me. And she also fought against cultural erasure because what do you mean that we cannot speak the language of our forefathers? Okay, that is what caused the Soweto uprising. June 16 is International Youth Day and also known as the International Day of the African Child. And it was just celebrated 2 days ago, this past Monday. And what was happening is that young students in Johannesburg, in Gauteng, in Soweto, went into the streets to protest being taught in the Afrikaner language because it was not the language that they understood. So they were forced to not speak their languages. They were not taught in their languages. They were forced to learn in foreign languages. And as a result, this really compromised their education. And That's part of the cultural erasure that Miriam Makeba was fighting for, because that's exactly what it looked like in the system. Now let's see what Miriam Makeba, that is Sister Miriam Makeba, what did she do? She used the global fame to expose apartheid through music and activism. Ooh. And we know here at Power Radio Power 254, we are all about activism. That is using art as a tool for social impact, using art for activism, using art to make a relevant noise that leads to social change. So that is exactly what she did. And I know we are familiar with the Pata Pata, and just so many beautiful, timeless jams that if you grew up as an African child, you are more than familiar with. What else did she do? She testified at the United Nations in 1963. A very special time for Kenya, right? Speaking out against South African racism. Why? Because they were silenced. A lot of the international community was actually not very clear on what was happening. So she was a state witness against the state of the apartheid regime in South Africa. And she gave this as a testimony to say, hey, let my people go. And she also worked with Martin Luther King Jr., the one and the only, Malcolm X as well, and the Black Panthers. So she was in the spirit of Wakanda forever, long before its time. Yes? Sasa alipitia nini? You're asking yourself, what did she go through? She was exiled from South Africa for 31 years. 31 years. A couple of weeks ago, we were celebrating a life well lived of Ngugi Thiong'o. And this is the same story. The same story, where freedom fighters are not safe in their own countries. They're not safe at home. And she had her passport revoked and she was rendered stateless. So she belonged nowhere. She was banned from returning home, even for her mother's funeral. What indignity. And she was constantly targeted and surveilled and had several attempts on her life. But despite all of this attempts on her sanity and her legacy, she was able to bring international attention to apartheid. And she won a Grammy Award, yes, for proving art and activism can merge powerfully, right? And she returned home to a free South Africa in 1990. Yes. And that is where South African will say, amandla away to our power. Power belongs to the people. Power is ours. And I'm so glad that before she went back home to her maker, she was able to come home to a free South Africa to see the fruit of her labor and the fruit of her action. So to see Choke, we are not going to tire speaking out against injustice, impunity, and being treated less than dignified human beings. And these are rights that are enshrined in our constitution. And anybody who holds a position of power at any level in this country that would try to deter the freedom of free Kenyans will not be left alone. We are going to continue speaking out against injustice. And what can you do? What do we learn from Usisi Miriam Makeba? Yes, we learn that using your voice, using your art, using your story is extremely important, and that culture is a weapon against oppression. And also that musicians and creatives must speak out. We must speak out, especially in times like this. Everybody has their platform. This is mine. What is your platform? It might be your WhatsApp status. It might be your Instagram story. It might be your TikTok. Might be your Facebook. Might be just you having conversations with everybody around you. Jana, wacha niwaambie something very interesting. So Jana, I went to buy bread at a local kiosk in the neighborhood. And what happened is that I found the shopkeeper as well as a gentleman over there talking about Gen Z. And the lady was like, oh, Gen Z walitoka wapi? You know, it was quite comical. It was really, really funny. And what happened is that I laughed because she didn't understand that the goons on motorbikes, the paid goons, the paid criminals, yes, were actually not the Gen Z. So there are people in our country, in our neighborhoods, and this is a business lady. This is a lady that I have given a lot of my money for her products, mkate, maziwa, mayai, so many small basics, because she's in the neighborhood. So if you want quick convenience, you need to get something, you're going to get it at her shop, at her kiosk. So this is somebody that is financially empowered. However, when it comes to information, I had to explain to her that there is protesters that are peaceful within the constitution, and then there are goons. So she was very unimpressed by the fact that young people who are jobless have time to go out into the streets. And I had to take 10 minutes of my time to explain to her and her gentleman friend that that's not what's actually happening. So let this conversation inspire you to have conversations with the people around you, and just make sure that the people around you actually understand what is happening. Because when we are calling for a united front against injustice and against impunity, then these are the people whose voices we need. We need to have collective action. We need to come and speak with one voice, saying that our Kenya must stand. Our Kenya is free. Our Kenya is a land free of injustice. And these are the people who might not know what's happening. So it becomes our responsibility to educate ourselves. And shout out to all of the influencers that created those videos, the anti-finance bill, the anti-finance 2024 bill videos, where they were translating them into their local dialects, the vernacular, your Kikuyu, your Luo, your Kisi, your Kamba, your Meru, explaining to people that might not otherwise understand what is it that we are fighting for, what is it that is, at risk. And currently, 2025, older people, because the lady, I would say maybe she's in her late 40s, early 50s, she had no idea that we are not all the same, that she had no idea what's happening. And why is this? Because all she sees is from social media. Not everybody has enough information to be able to see for themselves exactly what is happening. And that's why we're sharing these stories of this shorties for the activism. And what are we saying? We are saying that we need to have more of this representation. We need to see all of us. We need to see the activists in each and every single one of us. And as you can see, all of those women were fighting for something different. Now we are about to jump into the land of the Asante, Ghana. And we have Ya Asantewa, right? And she existed in the 1900s. And what did she do? She fought against a British colonization and the theft of the Asante golden stool. And if you understand something about the sentimentalism of artifacts that are symbolic of power, it's like the parliamentary mace, it's like the king's stool. So this was the king's stool that would represent a power, and it was stolen by the colonizers, right? And what did she do? As a queen mother, she led the war of the golden stool. Look at that. Women can lead wars. And she commanded more than 5,000 warriors. She refused to let the British take the spiritual symbol of Asante unity, right? And as a result, she was captured and exiled into Seychelles. She died in exile, never seeing her homeland again. That is really sad. But what was she able to achieve? She delayed a full British control for years. She became a symbol for resistance in West Africa, a symbol of hope that it is possible to fight and to fight successfully. And she inspired Ghanaian and nationalist movements. And what are we learning from this? That women are born leaders, even in war. And never wait for permission to protect your land or your people, because for sure, Ya Asantewa did not wait for anybody. So this is a beautiful, beautiful queen from Ghana, and may her soul rest in peace. And it's very sad that she was exiled and never again able to see her people. And for those people that wonder, there's black people that, Wakoko Inje, how did they get there? These are some of the stories. These are some of the stories of all of this exiled people, all of those people that, Miriam Makeda, who was rendered stateless and had her passport revoked. Those are people who you go out there and you wonder, why is it that this person is like me? because they're African at the core. Every black person came from Africa originally, and it's stories like this that help us see how some people spread, because this is a story of so many Africans, yet this is just one, and there were more than millions of Africans, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of Africans taken to other countries in the transatlantic slave trade that happened in the 18 and 1900s. Now, let's talk about Angela Davis. In the US of A, the United States of America, she is from the 1960s to present. So thank God this is the first one that is still alive. And she fought against racism, against capitalism, prisons, and sexism. How did she do this? She was a prominent figure in the Black Panther Party and the fight for political prisoners. She was a scholar, an author, as well as a global human rights advocate. And she was in prison for over a year on the FBI's most wanted list. How ironic that the one fighting against the criminals becomes a criminal. Does that sound familiar? How our activists and our freedom fighters are rendered criminals by an oppressive state. Quite interesting. And she faced a death sentence. She did, and she lived under constant state surveillance. Very glad that her death sentence did not fall through. What was she able to achieve with all of this fighting? What is the end goal? What is it that encourages and inspires us to not keep silent? These are the kinds of things that you would achieve. Is that she was acquitted of all charges in 1972, right? And she became an iconic professor as well as a speaker, and she continues to lead the prison abolition movement. Why? Because in the United States of America, a big reason why the prison movement was created was so that black people, the niggers, could be incarcerated, and most of the time it was inhumane, it was undignified, it was unfair, it was unjust, and that's something we still see happening today in modern day America, and it is quite a shame. Shame on these broken systems that continue to oppress people of color, black people, Africans, African Americans, and Kenyans. Shame on anybody that misuses their God-given authority over this land. I say God-given because I believe that God honors the systems. Even the Bible says that you give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar, which means that Jesus Christ actually respected the rule of man, respects the systems, and as long as something is constitutional and humane, then that is something that we need to uphold. That is something that we need to, just accept as something that God also has respect for. And so when we pick leaders within this system, this is something that also has been allowed by God, but God does not approve of injustice. And in case you are curious about what God thinks about justice, then you would need to look at the book of Hosea, where he has quite a lot to say. Now, what do we learn from Angela Davis? That freedom is incomplete without justice. Okay? Challenge unjust systems fearlessly, even when it costs you your safety or your reputation. All right. I think we are in agreement. Now, we are going to go on a short break, and then we're going to come back and look at 5 more ladies who are inspiring us to continue being the freedom fighters and the activists that we are, because at this point, as a generation, most of us, if not all, have become freedom fighters, and we are forced to do so because of how much we care and love our country and for the future of those that are yet to come. So let's just get into this, and I'll be back shortly to inspire you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
If you know, then you know it. And keep quiet. Never can call me. They say they don't rate me. I say they don't care. How can you rate what's great when all you fuck with is damn shit? Tunikazi. Man, take no jokes. Kameli puka, naweza kuruka, pati kushtuka. Kushuka sishuki. Kupanda na panda. Don't you ever compare. Whatever we do is not fair. Play with me, we're not there. Take a picture and stay at home. Don't you ever compare. Whatever we do is not fair. Play with me, we're not there. Take a picture and stay at home.
Louis, club poppin' in the night. Roll up with my niggas, what time on site. Blick in my pants and my pants so tight. Life ain't easy when you're black, pushing hype, pop. So I pop out of reach. I'ma teach and I listen out to reach. The big homie told me don't worry about the beef, but the beef on my mind and my mind in the streets. Louis, truly, do the keep. Pull up outside of a state, sit the beat. Baby, mama dream car, still a black Jeep. The Jeep cute, but I want a 3D printed sheet whip. Baby, Porsche truck, Lambo, when the doors flip. Whip, big as fuck, 2022 spaceship. Jaw dropping bitch, stuck inside with a facelift. Who basic, who like the fuck rappers in a new crib. Yeah, I'm the life of that party. You like it when I call you my shawty.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Hey, Nanjora wa Manjaro. Mini weni mini mouse. Tufike pale Disney, ribbon shati na blouse. Uliza Tom and Jerry kapati nataka clowns. Ama two stupid dogs, tu sisi tuko down bet. Nimepanga nina space ya two. Date kama tunda, breakfast for two. Tuseme nina hope ya you. Vile tuko fuku cheza kama cartoons. Here you go, Pewa balloon, Miss Cunningham, I'm your bear balloon. Call it serendipity, vile na feel so due. Who knew to odd ones could even out the mood. Love TBT kama rapa magoo. Sweet kama pipi shika rapa I do. Si mas kwenda kinki pewa sweetie ya you. Ni mimi ni tekiti role play ni through. So come through, hapo kwangu kama 5+2. You like food, nina wagu ina sick na soup. You want proof, okay maybe ni kanyagu ya chum. Babora time na you, the rest si must to do. To vibe mama, kama rumba mama. Improvise na cham, hamna haraka hata. Mina wewe dada, ni time so tam sana. Songea karibu mama, hii ni just for you. Cause nimepanga nina space ya two. Date kama tunda, breakfast for two. Tuseme nina hope ya you. Vile tuko free kucheza kama cartoons. Nimepanga nina space ya two. Date kama tunda, breakfast for two. Tuseme nina hope ya you. Vile tuko free kucheza kama cartoons.
Dexter na Johnny Bravo. Tumekuja na ingine form juvenile. Sijui tukuite superwoman. Baby umeweza kama Kim Possible. Undeniable. Kele tukaue. Ekangu tapye nuwe resident. Na kwa president. Maembe maukamba God nothing on you, yeah. Makwasi masoso ni mewe. Ukangonye kusua no aisieli kaiele ele na kwa nina space for you, yeah.
Nimepanga nina space ya tu date kama tunda breakfast for you tuseme nina hope ya you vile tuko fi kucheza kama cartoons. Nimepanga nina space ya tu date kama tunda breakfast for two tuseme nina hope ya you vile tuko fi kucheza kama cartoons.
Mama kalongolongo nivo hapana nivo hapana cha mama cha baba kalongolongo nivo hapana nivo hapana.
Nimepanga nina space ya tu date kama tunda breakfast for two.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
A space, two, space for two. So that was Elsa Fanjara and Manasseh Shalom. Right before that, tulikuwa na compare Blinky Bill and Gold Link. Okay. So I promised you 5 more shorties for the winning, shorties for the activism. Sindio, so sasa hapa tuko na nani mwingine. We have Albertina Sisulu. We are still in the land of South Africa. And she existed from the 1940s to the 1990s. And again, we have another pattern of 50 years. 50 years. What did she fight against? She fought against apartheid. Pass laws is ya kuitishwa kitambulisho, ID. Yeah, that thing of being asked, kijana, wewe kijana, wapi kitambulisho, where are your papers? So that's what pass laws are. So your ID, your pass was what was used as your ID. And racial injustice. Sasa Shiko led the 1956 Women's March of 20,000 women to the Union buildings. Kusema Z hatutaki 20,000 women. Can you picture 20,000? When I picture 20,000, I picture June 25, 2024, the Kenyan youth in the streets of Nairobi, dancing and singing for our freedom, right? She helped form the United Democratic Front, that is a UDF, that's one of South Africa's political parties, and she organized underground ANC, that's the African National Congress activities, all right? And Sa alipitia nini, what did she go through? She was constantly harassed by police. Her home was raided repeatedly. Are we ticking? She raised her children while her husband was in prison for 25 years. And who is her husband? Was her husband, if you might ask, is Walter Sisulu, a fellow freedom fighter Tawakona, the University of Walter Sisulu University, WUSU, WSU, just in his honor, because that is how much he meant to the country. Now, as a result of her bravery, as a result of her courage, she was called the mother of the nation, and she played a critical role in sustaining ANC networks throughout repression, and she served as an MP in post-apartheid in South Africa. And what are we learning from Albertina Sisulu? We are learning that courage is quiet but consistent, okay? We are learning that women hold nations together when everything else collapses, and I need to see more of that in our country. So for the girlies, for my Sheversationalists, these stories are for you to see yourself in these women, because these were just everyday women that decided that enough was enough. And Pia, because South Africa is the land of freedom. South Africa is a place where a lot of freedom fighters were, because they fought for much longer than most countries in Africa. Pia tukona Charlotte Maxeke. That is Charlotte Maxeke, and another South African from the 1900s. And she fought against racial inequality, colonial expression, as well as a lack of education. Because mbona mtaki tusome? Why do you not want us to be educated? What does she do? She was the first Black South African woman to earn a university degree. So I just shout out, like my heart goes, I feel like crying. This is quite emotional for me. And she also founded the Bantu Women's League in 1918, which is an organization, a league that existed to fight, to speak, and represent Black women in South Africa. And she also fought for Black women's education and dignity, because they were seen as nothing other than washing girls, garden girls, tea ladies, maids and helpers for the white minority rulers. And she, as a result, went through racial barriers in higher education. She was severely discriminated against, also marginalized by both colonialist as well as patriarchal structures, because you as a woman, Unadu, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to try and achieve anything as a woman? But all that was not in vain because she broke educational barriers and she also paved the way for ANC Women's League, and she was revered as a pioneer for African feminism. So if you are a girly who really cares about what it looks like to be an African feminist, you want to see more of who you could be, what you could be, what does it really mean for the people that began it, then Charlotte Matleke is somebody whose story you might want to follow, okay? Already, what do we learn? What do we learn at the end of the day? What is the takeaway, from this particular story? Is that knowledge is power. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, please do not look down on education, as broken and as oppressive some facets and elements of the system might be. Education still is power, and education can unlock doors closed by centuries of oppression. There are some places that only your papers will get you through the door. There are places without papers, hakuna kuingia, regardless of how skilled, talented, knowledgeable, how much of a good and excellent, effective networker you are. There are some places that if you do not have qualifications, hakuna mali unaenda. And then one of our favorite is Asata Shakur. Tupac Shakur's mother, Asata Shakur. So this is a girly from the US, from Cuba. Right, and she was in existence from the 1970s, and she fought against racism, against police brutality, against mass incarceration. Remember the prison systems that we talked about earlier that Angela Davis was fighting against? Yes, she did so as a member of the Black Liberation Army, the BLA, and she escaped prison after controversial murder conviction. This shorty was badass, because what do you mean she escaped prison? Yes, she did. She was in prison and she's like, y'all are not gonna hold me down. She said, hold my bars. She said, lock that down, okay? And she took refuge in Cuba, where she still lives. Come on now, Cuba. And what did she go through? She was shot, right? Are we ticking? She was beaten. She was imprisoned. All right. She was held in a solitary confinement while pregnant. Of all the things you could do to a pregnant woman, this is one of the worst. Okay? She was declared a domestic terrorist with a 2 million bounty on her head. They told the goons, get this woman and we give you 2 million US dollars. That's way back in the 1970s. Moving forward, that's a lot of money. That was a lot of money. They wanted this woman gone. They wanted her dead, deceased. And she said, excuse me, no. I feel like I'm going to stay alive. I would like to stay alive. Please, thank you. And as a result, she became a revolutionary icon. She wrote a best-selling autobiography, and she continues to inspire global freedom movements. And what we're saying is that even when you are in exile, you can still lead. The system may try to erase you, but truth lives on. That's one thing about the truth, is that the truth lives on irregardless of what it is that you are experiencing. And they try to off you, to out you, to make you left. And you're like, no, I'm going to write that and I'm going to stay right about here. The truth will always live on. Now, closer to home, to Narudi, we have Muthoni Likimani, all right, a shorty for the activism, 1950s to 2023, just 2 years into the afterlife. She fought against colonialism. She fought against silencing of women and erasure in literature. And she was one of the first Kenyan women to publish fiction in English. Okay, we just said education and knowledge are power. She worked with the freedom fighters during the Mau Mau uprising. Okay, and she was vocal about women's roles in national building. We can never disregard women in positions of power because we need a representation, and a nation cannot be balanced without adequate representation of all the peoples. And because she had a heart for the people, she was harassed for her pro-Mau Mau stance, and she was silenced and sidelined by male-dominated, literally, circles. They're like, nah, you're not good enough because you have a vagina and breast. And she said, excuse me, but no. She said, I'm going to win awards, and she did. She won awards. She's an award-winning author and a public intellectual, and she paved the way for Kenyan women writers, continued writing as well as mentoring well into her 90s. And what's beautiful to me about this particular story, Muthoni Likimani's story, is that she lived a long life. That's one of my desires, if I could change something about these women's lives, is that they would live a long life and celebrate, be able to feed off of the fruit of their labor. Yes, and your voice is powerful. That's what Modoni's story is showing us. That's what it's telling us, that you can tell your stories. You don't wait for validation. You publish, you speak, you resist, and repeat, okay? That is exactly what Modoni Likimani is showing us. And hapa wa mwisho, because we said 10 girlies to leave you with inspiration, right? We have Amina Doherty, right? She's a Nigerian Caribbean, and she is still alive from the 2000s. So she is a Gen Z. Very interesting. And she's been fighting against philanthropic exclusion. She's been fighting against a neoliberalism, against gender-based oppression. And she is somebody who's not interested in keeping quiet, right? She founded Frida Young Feminist Fund, which is the first of its kind. And she uses art, poetry, and activism to fund and amplify grassroots movements. So she is an activist, and she works globally to decolonize development. And she has undergone a few challenges on her journey. She's gotten pushback from rigid patriarchal systems, and she's been marginalized in formal spaces of power for being young, for being female, and for being African. And we say, shame on all of you, whoever it is, shame. And she still has been able to have a few successes under her belt. She has millions in grants given directly to youth-led feminist groups, because money is power. Power to you. Get your bag. And she has built sustainable funding systems outside traditional donors. She said, I'm not going to wait for you. And she is an advocate for funding our own freedom. Don't wait for saviors. Build what your people need. And that's something, a story very familiar to ours here at Power 254. So just get it done any way possible. Don't wait to be supported. Do not wait to be validated. Do it anyways, and do it with those that will support you. So shout out to every single individual that continues to rally people together, resources, education, information, and break down, fight against systems that oppress our locals, our people who cannot even speak for themselves. Shout out to everybody who is like this, shorties. And one more time, that is Amina Doherty. We have Modoni Likimani, we have Asata Shakur, we have Charlotte Matleke, we have Albertina Sisulu, we have Angela Davis, we have Asantewa, and Miriam Makeba, we have Fun Milayo Ransome Kuti, and we have last but not least Wangare Mathai, the legendary Professor Wangare Mathai. Those are the shorties, the women, the legends that we are looking up to this morning in this season, Yakukula Tiagas, this season of running from police, this season of going out into the streets and going on our knees and praying. And that's just another thing, that as you go onto the streets, first go on your knees. You can do both. Both are effective, both are possible, both will get you where we need to go, because with God behind us, who can stand? Who can stand against us, right? So when I fight for my country in the name of Jesus. When I speak out against oppression, it is because my God hates oppression. It's because the Most High hates oppression, hates corrupt leaders, hates unjust systems, right? Never be deceived in the name of the church and in the name of religion that Christianity is an unjust religion. Whoever it is that chooses to misuse it is doing exactly that. The same way our constitution is misused, the same way our defense forces are misused, is just the same story, a very boring story that we're not interested in hearing. But the point of this is before you go out into the streets, fight for your country on your knees. And if you can't go out, then stay on your knees. Just pray for this country. Don't just complain and cry and agitate. Pray for our country. God listens. There's a scripture that says if my people, will ask for repentance, not that we have done anything wrong, but if we would go on our knees and cry for our land, he will hear our cry and heal our land. So that's just the word of encouragement to you. And sai na wa cham atum atoti ba watenda willi and beba watenda willi and zenia manase. My loves, this is for you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Naishi wala hewa atoti chamethum atoti mela atoti ukitingisha naishi wala hewa uyaongea watu yawa timlani yawa nyiri bere to inkene mane nini tuwalui mama jahera katate korumona samaneno kaiyengo kanungo yawa sami ongengani sandore yawa jangolo ero korotagore hera ni bendo medore kiringi saiwezi baby temane imit kanguru imit na atoti wani maliza nakala chafu nandika andiko ni nyaka insha ramba nyasezi kudanganya nyama mabia teri usengei owinja wera kimolo boka neno bia tinyingi ndegei atoti chamako atoti mela atoti ukizungusha naishi wana hewa atoti chamako atoti mela atoti ukitingisha naishi wana hewa atoti unisore atoti sungore neno nyiri mangento ginyalika jabera yen gichumale dendigi wangi bironega wakikuona wanabaki wakishanga vile unazitoka walai blanda mimi metekwa napewa mahaba ay ulalo I say you do it now jabera yeah kama mtoto napewa masiwa ay ulalo I say you do it now jabera yeah kama mtoto napewa masiwa atoti chamakum atoti mela atoti ukizungusha naishi wala hewa atoti chamefum atoti mela atoti ukitingisha naishi wala hewa atoti chamakum atoti mela atoti ukizungusha naishi wala hewa atoti chamefum atoti mela atoti ukitingisha naishi wala hewa Osnauru Kevin Ratego Daktari Papa Manento Mama Messi Sunbreeze hey. Ya wakini peko mera hey. Mawa tenda wili
pinyo pongi weche yawa. Lakini wa mosu mokuongo, ani longanio nyach pala. Wodo bongo. Woda oko nyakotia. Todo moso costa ojuan kanyo. Hey!
Ay, 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 ay. Wanna know, I say you the way, no, chapera, yeah. Kama mtoto napewa masiwa. Ay, 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 ay. Wanna know, I say you the way, no, chapera, yeah. Kama mtoto napewa masiwa.
Run.
Warembo ni wengi ila na walenga, ndio maana usiku siku hizi nalala mapema. Hawataniteka, hawataniteka, heri tu ninyonge na nilale tu sitakucheza. Nami nimekiri yetu sio siri, ni wewe tu na mimi. Niamini, loving you is easy. Wacha wakupinga watupinge. Umenibeba, asante kwa kunipenda hivi unavyonipenda. Umenibeba, asante kwa kunipenda hivi unavyonipenda.
Warembo ni wengi ila unalenga kupenda kutenda, sio tu kusema. Nashangaa si kawaida. Won't be quick to give my love if you won't either. Fever umedeliver, safari ya mapenzi haina kufika. Nimekiri, loving you is easy. Wacha wakupinga watupinge.
Umenibeba, asante kwa kunipenda hivi unavyonipenda. Umenibeba, asante kwa kunipenda hivi unavyonipenda. Beibaro, kakanyeri nelawa, ton nahero gamon. Bad boy, those days are gone. Since I found you, kila kitu new. Give me away your jode, me I only see you. Nimeweka pazia machoni, I only see you. Umeniweka juu, umenibeba, asante kwa kunipenda hivi unavyonipenda. Umenibeba, asante kwa kunipenda hivi unavyonipenda.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Power Radio.
1005 songs in.
Yeah. Yes, only one way. Mungu ni munoma, ni munoma. Mungu ni munoma, ni munoma. His image and is like this, yeah. In his image and is like this, yeah.
Rapping my shit and my God is the biggest out there. I've been feeling the rap with them scriptures all over like, yeah. I know you like it, cause you know Jehovah's son is invited. And every time that he shows up, demons are finished. So there goes my heartfelt condolences to the enemy. I'm seated in heavenly places far beyond this reach. My advocate is Jesus, I'm enjoying immunity. Paid by the blood, restoration by the Father. I'm in the assembly of the firstborn, enrolled in the heavenly places of the dawn. Spirits of the rushes made perfect for God by the blood of the Lamb. Now I walk like him, talk like him, reign with him, and it calls me years. Made in his image, tell me, do you see it? Son of the dawn, rapping my city, you heard?
Mungu ni munoma, ni munoma. Mungu ni munoma, ni munoma. His image and is like this, yeah. In his image and is like this, yeah. Mungu ni munoma, ni munoma. Mungu ni munoma, ni munoma.
Rapping my shit and my God is the biggest out there. I've been feeling the rap with them scriptures all over like, yeah. I know you like it, cause you know Jehovah's son is invited. And every time that he shows up, demons are finished, so done.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Welcome back to Sheversations, and the time is 16 minutes past 12 already, and we are talking about femicide today. But before we dive into that, we have been talking about activism. What does it look like to be a woman who is actually fighting for her country? What does it look like? And I want to know, Caroline_Murote on Instagram, at Caro Murote on TikTok, on Facebook and Twitter. It is Caroline Murote, and our hashtag is Sheversations. You can at us at Power Radio on all of those platforms, and another hashtag is a hashtag with hashtag Sheversations with Caroline Murote. So I just want to encourage everybody that might be discouraged this morning that this is not permanent, it is not forever, and we are going to come out better for this. So another form of oppression that our country has been undergoing is femicide. We're still talking about femicide. It is the 18th of June, 2025. All of last year, we spoke about femicide. We are still talking about a femicide. And at the end of the year, our president announced femicide to be a national crisis. And lo and behold, this has actually not changed. We just are not talking about it anymore. Why do we need to talk about femicide? It is not because we enjoy talking about dead women. It is not because that is all we can talk about. It is because we forget that these things are happening. Awareness is not created. And as a result, all of these things get swept quietly under the carpet as more women continue to die. So this is about the sanctity of life. We actually care about our Kenyans as staying alive. So the same way we don't want to see anybody shot down by police in the streets is the exact same way we do not want to hear a case of any woman that has died that could have been avoidable, okay? Just dying because she's a woman, dying because the circumstances don't allow her to defend herself. So this is a crisis, right? And we need to call for reforms. We need to talk about Femicide. And let me give you a rundown. Between 2024 and June 2025, Kenya has witnessed a tragic escalation in femicide, with over 129 women killed in the first 3 months of 2025 alone. 129 women. Those are the known reported cases. The victims, often young women and girls, have died in their homes, on the streets, or in rental apartments, many times at the hands of partners or men unknown to them. This report captures 15 individual femicide cases and additional incidents, offering context, systematic patterns, and community and institutional responses. So we're still talking about a femicide, and personally, I am tired. This is not exciting for me. It shouldn't be exciting for anybody. Yet there's more than enough content, because there's more than enough deaths. More than enough women have died. Now, we are going to look into the lives of some of these women, in case it sounds like a story. Stories are jabba. There's nothing jabba about these women dying, and may their souls rest in peace. Just a lot of millions of condolences to their families, their loved ones. And for you, perhaps there's a woman that died in your life that has not been brought to justice. Receive my apologies, receive my condolences. And may God comfort you. May the Holy Spirit comfort you. All right. We have the first one, January 2025. Lydia Tokesi from Kajiado County. And she was 29 years old, Moi University graduate. And she disappeared on the 4th of January, and her body was found mutilated in Gataka Forest. The suspect is her long-term boyfriend, Philip Ora, still at large. Still not been brought to justice. And the response to this was that there were online campaigns and widespread outrage. So we got angry and moved on with our lives. Another woman is Winnie Akusuha from Nandi County. And she was in her 30s. She was a wife, a mother of 3. She was stabbed to death by her husband, Juma Hannes Shimano, and her husband died at the scene, leaving their 3 children automatically orphaned. There was an urgent call for protection services for her children, but the trauma of losing your parents because your father killed your mother and then probably killed himself, or died as a result of the violence, self-defense inflicted wounds. We have Joy Frida Monani from Nairobi, 19 years old. The husband was found with her dismembered body in a backpack, bloodied knife, and more remains were found at their home. How did we respond? There was a nationwide unrest and outrage, and he was arrested. Has he been brought to justice? Details are still blurry. We do not know. Lorraine Ochieng from Siaya County. She was 24 years of age. She was hacked to death by her estranged husband during a reconciliation attempt, and community later torched the suspects and his mother's homes. So their homes were touched, but they themselves are still alive. It's very unfortunate. So nataka kurudiana na bibi. Why kill her if she says no? Why? We need to do better as a country. Tukona Marianne Kilonzo from London in the UK, a Kenyan national, and she was 43 years old, and she was a professional at a VP, vice president at a Citibank. She was found dead from a blunt force trauma in her apartment, and the suspect was a known associate under investigation, and as a result, there was a global concern. Mimi sijafurahi na global concern, a national outrage, no. I want to see justice. I want to hear arrested, convicted. That's what I want to hear for all of these women, because their lives are worth much more than society has given them. Sarah Ndunge Musyoki from Nairobi, 20 years old. 20 years old. A university student. She was stabbed multiple times on her way to the market. Nobody knows who stabbed her. And as a result, there were vigils and safety campaigns, and people moved on with their lives. Harriet Mora Nyaboga, Machakos County. She was a first-year university student, age unconfirmed. She was stabbed to death, likely by a romantic partner. I hope that we are paying attention to the pattern of events. I hope that you are paying attention to the who is doing these killings and why we continue talking about it. These are not random deaths. There are patterns where there are men romantically linked to these women for the majority of these cases, and these are men that these women are supposed to feel safe with, and they are the ones that have taken their lives. And for Harriet Moran Yaboga, there was a campus protest as well as a GBV awareness. Unfortunately, this GBV became a femicide, so that is a graduated case of evil. We have our eighth case, Christine Alma, Homer Bay County, 25 years of age. She was beheaded while cooking. I want us to reflect on how gruesome these cases are. Beheaded while cooking. Nobody knows who did it. It is an unknown suspect. There was community grift and legal advocacy. While cooking, somebody came and hacked off her head. Why? Why? Elizabeth Yegon from Bomet County, 61 years of age. Are we also seeing the variety? It's not just young women, not middle-aged women, not older women. It's just women. She was found dead in her home, and this was suspected to be a domestic violence case that resorted to her death. And the community responded by giving advocacy for older women. Yet no arrests were made. Lucy Wairimo Thuia from Nairobi, 24 years of age, and she was a beautician. She was killed by her boyfriend after a fight. She was killed via strangulation and trauma. Head trauma and strangulation. And there were vigils in her honor, in her memory, and justice campaigns. Okay? Anybody arrested? No. Starlet Wahumwangi. If you're in this country and on social media, you already know about this one. She was 26 years of age, and she was an influencer as well as a student. And she was killed and dismembered in an Airbnb after meeting a man online, and even Dionyotayake Elizimwa. The suspect was arrested, and there were online safety campaigns launched. Okay. Tuko na Rita Waeni. Pia kama uko na simu, internet on the mtandaos, you know about Rita Waini's story. 20-year-old agronomy student, and she met her attacker via a tagged app, and her body was found dismembered. She became the face of #Stop Femicide KE protest, because at this point, enough was enough. Yet we are still talking about it. Femicide still. We have Lucy Wamaitha from Murang'a and from Nairobi. She was killed during a work trip. Her body was mutilated as well as burnt. And this led to a national femicide vigil. She was one of the women whose lives were being honored in the national femicide vigil. In the Stop a Femicide KE protest, the vigil was a part of that. So that was 13 cases, and that was just in January. Just in January. People's heads are being hacked off while they are cooking. People's bodies are being carried. Women's bodies are being carried in backpacks and remains of the body parts found in the house. Strangulation, mutilation, dismemberment. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. February. Okay, in case you're tired, ukunywa maji, we need to talk about this. This is important. These are women's lives. We have Cheryl Awino, okay? Nairobi, from Nairobi, and the story came to our attention on the 3rd of February. She was killed on the 3rd of February. She was a university student and pregnant, and she was stabbed in the abdomen by the boyfriend. Yes, the baby died, and she survived. All right. And there was a public outcry and calls for campus safety. The baby was a female. So that child was killed. Come out, taki mtoto, do not have sex. Okay? If you do not want to reproduce, do not have sex. Do not impregnate somebody, and because you don't want the baby, you stab them in the abdomen. Shame on you. Shame on you. We have an unnamed victim from Nairobi. whose story became public, right? Lured via Instagram and dismembered in a short stay apartment, Airbnb. And she was a part of a serial predator pattern, and the investigation is still ongoing. Investigation ongoing often means nothing has been done. In our country, this is exactly what it means. Nothing has been done, okay? Unfortunately, that is a story. So now we move on to March 2025, and then we're gonna go on a break. Tukunywe maji, we ankasirika kidogo, if at all that's possible, because between all of the tear gas and all of this women's blood, I don't know which one would make us angrier. I'm grateful for Jesus, because I don't have any other reason for peace of mind if I was looking into my environment, looking to society, looking for something externally for peace. There is none to be found, because outside of ourselves, there are too many horror stories, and I thank God for eternal internal peace that I get from salvation. And that's something you might want to look into in this very dark, depressing time, anxiety reading time, fear reading time in our country. That's something that you might want to look seriously into, because that's something that has worked for me, and I share what is working for me. March 2025, we had 15 femicides occurring in a single week that made the news and made the headlines. That included a 15-year-old girl that was raped and killed in Landi Mawe. And other murders are spanned from Rift Valley across western and eastern regions of our country. Okay? We had media coverage. We had widespread protests. Did the killings stop? No, because we still have stories from April 2025 where no specific cases were widely reported, but they were reported, right? And something that was of note in April 2025 is that we had countrywide forums under the End of Femicide KE movement. And this looked like gathering data, survivor stories, as well as policy recommendations, and just a lot of people saying that they have lost people, young girls whose bodies have never been found, so their families have never been able to have closure. Now, in May 2025, with regards to femicide, we've had a continuation of national forums. We've had civil society and survivor-led dialogue influencing the GBV task force, and we do not have any public cases surfacing, but killings have persisted. There's also an issue with the media, because we tend to trivialize, sensationalize these murders, yet the killings persist. June 2025, Amanda Mutheu, Roysambu, Nairobi, a child approximately between the ages of 8 and 12 years old, was thrown from the third floor balcony by her uncle. Okay? The suspect was arrested, and there has been public demand for child protection reform. All right, so we're going to go on a music break, but while we're on this break, I just want you to think about, what does it mean for us to be safe in our country? So if it's not national injustice against all Kenyans, it's injustice against women that is happening within our own homes, uncles throwing their nieces over balconies. If these stories are just, they're infuriating. I want you to think about, what does it look like to have a safe Kenya? What does a safe Kenya look like and sound like to you? And we're going to get back and have the rest of that conversation with the 28 minutes left. The time is 32 past, half past the day, and I'm going to see you in just a short bit.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Moving mountains for you. Mountains for you. Yes, so I'm going out with that. I know with that. He can move any mountains for you. Any mountains for you. I know with that, yeah. I know with that. All things possibility with God of ability. Ability. Possibility. All things possibility with God of ability.
commission of the dawn. Another got ability like Yahweh. He suppressed the kings of the underworld, my way. Rock of the ages, ancient of days, lily of the valley and the bright and morning star. Anything is possible with him. He raised up the dead after days in the grave. Parted the sea for the nation in a minute. He'll answer your matter in less than a minute.
I can move in the mountains for you. Mountains for you. It's the one going out with I know with I.
He can move any mountains for you. Any mountains for you. I know with I, yeah. I know with
all things possibility with God of ability. Ability. Possibility. All things possibility with God of ability. Ability. Possibility.
In the dark when it's tough, you always stepping up. Endless possibilities, salute the Holy Trinity, yeah. See, no eye ever seen it, no ear ever heard it, and no man can conceive it. The good things in store for those who love Him. I'm ready now to see the impossible.
And He said I can move in the mountains for you. Mountains for you. It's the one going out with I know with I.
He can move any mountains for you. Any mountains for you. I know it's yeah. I know it's
all things possibility with God of ability. Ability. Possibility. All things possibility with God of ability. Ability. Possibility. And He said I can move in the mountains for you. Mountains for you. It's the one going out with I know with I.
He can move any mountains for you. Any mountains for you. I know it's yeah. I know it's
He can move any mountains for you. Mountains for you. It's the one going out with I know it's
He can move any mountains for you. Any mountains for you. I know it's yeah. I know it's
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Power Radio.
Studio, listen to that boom bop go. We got this. Me and all the homies know music is our food for show. We got this. Living in the studio, listen to that boom bop go. We got this. Me and all the homies know music is our food for show. We got this.
I can't help but feel punished. I can't help but feel vanished in shadows of those walking behind me. Those I light the way for. Those are nurtured, pain and explained and paved the way for. Down to public shaming, tired of blaming, pointed fingers, hearts cold, feigning joy, looking bars, smoking cranium, eyes my head bobbing, eyes sobbing from police tear gas. Down the chicks trickling, buzz face sickly, frown, look around, sicking doors, puzzling, joining, troubling doors, puffing, sniffing, make you groove, guzzling, drinking, take your shots, frozen, posing, much to prove, chained up, bleeding in the cold, ice colder people move. Ah!
Living in the studio, listen to that boom bop go. We got this. Me and all the homies know music is our food for show. We got this. Living in the studio, listen to that boom bop go. We got this. Me and all the homies know music is our food for show. We got this.
Bidi bada get murdered. Kakitungu he bit ni tia jaka waka omera my guy. Titushani mbogwa my guy wanja. Nimekuja kipan fan kamjosh. Yani Regency Kamlesh. Hini recently yani come fresh kusheng, a sheng, na sense, jang, a peng, call me the alchemist. On a battlefield with my iron fist. Just turn this bitch into a smoke dish, smoke split, pass you, ha.
Living in the studio, listen to that boom bop go. We got this. Me and all the homies know, music is our food for show. We got this. Living in the studio, listen to that boom bop go. We got this. Me and all the homies know, music is our food for show. We got this. Living in the studio, listen to that boom bop go. We got this. Me and all the homies know, music is our food for show. We got this. Living in the studio, listen to that boom bop go. We got this. Me and all the homies know, music is our food for show. We got this. Living in the studio, listen to that boom bop go. We got this. Me and all the homies know, music is our food for show. We got this. Living in the studio, listen to that boom bop go. We got this. Me and all the homies know, music is our food for show. We got this.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
So that was We Got This. That was We Got This. And honestly, it might not look like it, but we got this because we are a strong people. Oku Kenya, we have a history of fighting for our rights. We have a history of standing up against oppressors. And we have a history of just fighting against injustice. So whatever it is that the injustice looks like, honestly, we got this. And that was Tetu Shani, M3, Wanjo Wahoro Sensei, and Elsafan Njora telling us we got this. Right before that, we had Ability 1005 songs telling us that tunaweza. Already, all right. Okay. So let's look into what does it mean? All of these different femicide cases, zinakaje, why are they happening? What is there to be done? So we've looked across the year. We've seen January to June, what has happened, right? With the latest being baby Amanda, all right, who was said to be 8 years old, an infant, a baby, a child who did not deserve to have her light put out at such a young age. So I'm just going to go and I'm just going to go ahead and share some statistics with you to connect the confirmed femicide cases and the different patterns. January, we had 43 confirmed cases. This is according to the National Femicide data, and this is a summary. So January, we have 43 confirmed femicide cases, and the patterns is that some of this were initiated on dating apps, the relationships that led up to these killings, and the intimate partner violence. February 2025, we have had 42 confirmed femicide cases, and this are from strangers online and survivor with a miscarriage. All right, so that's the two different patterns that we've seen in February of 42. March, we have 44 confirmed femicide cases, and these are teens as well as regional killings. So we've had killings across the different regions. In April, there's an unspecified number, yet killings have persisted, and national forums and community advocacy is a patterns as a result. Confirmed femicide cases in the month of May 2025 are also unspecified, and as a result, we have had a pattern of civil society-led responses and town hall meetings discussing the national crisis that femicide has unfortunately become in our country. And June, we have the one confirmed case, Amanda, and this pattern is just a child, a victim. Honestly, as a nation, we are completely shocked. Now, let us see how the nation of Kenya has been responding to this different femicide cases. So one of this is community activism. We have had an online activism, a protest under the hashtag Dark Valentine. Nothing to celebrate here because women are dying. So we had the Dark Valentine. We had the hashtag Stop Femicide KE. We had the hashtag Total Shutdown KE protest that included candlelight vigils, murals, as well as survivor storytelling, and CBOs and NGOs across the nation held events in honor of and in memory of these women that have unfortunately perished under such gruesome circumstances. Quite unfair. So something else that has occurred since all of these cases have come up is that we have had a presidential task force. It was formed this January 2025 with 42 members led by Nancy Barasa. And just one of those days here on Sheversations, we are going to be looking into what this task force, the presidential task force against the femicide in Kenya, has been able to achieve thus far. And this particular group was tasked with crafting a femicide law and reviewing GBV systems in our country towards better systems that work against, and work towards eradicating femicide. Now, we also had end of femicide public forums in our country held in all 47 counties between the months of April and May this year. And the input has been coming from survivors as well as their families, advocates, and faith leaders. So kudos to everybody that has been putting their best foot forward towards a collective effort against the femicide fight. We've also been seeing legal and police reforms where we've had advocates proposing femicide as a distinct crime under the penal code, that femicide needs to be punishable individually by itself as a separate crime because it is targeted. It is not just a homicide. It is not just a murder. It is targeted due to the gender aspect, and that is something that has been put out there. That's something that our legal systems, advocates in our legal systems, whose hearts are at this matter, have been fighting and agitating for. And then we have trauma-informed GBV courts that were suggested as a result. This needs to be a legal reform. GBV courts, gender-based violence courts that are trauma-informed to be able to give these matters the adequate attention and sensitivity that they deserve. We also need to be having, according to the advocates, digitized GBV reporting. So to have a standardized way of reporting on GBV to maintain the humanity and the dignity of the victims as well as their family. And we need to have more of this. We need to have patterns where we are continuously reporting on gender-based violence as opposed to talking about it only in community spaces and mentioning it as an issue, yet not having official ways to report on it. And we also do need to have police GBV desks restructured with hotline expansions because one of the conversations that we've had here on Sheversations is that the police GBV desks, the gender desks in police stations are often oftentimes non-active or completely useless, just a pain in the neck for survivors and people attempting to assist victims of gender-based violence. Now, we also we want to look into what are the patterns that have emerged. We've talked about femicide time and time again. We have talked about gender-based violence. What are we seeing coming up time and time again? And what's actually, at the center of this really concerning issues? The victim demographics, ladies and gentlemen, are mostly 18 to 35-year-old women, including minors. Okay, so the youth. Okay, our country is killing the youth mostly. We have the killer profiles, right, that look like a current or an ex-partner, and also looks like a romantic partner, most likely met online. So that is what most of these killers have in common, is that they have loved or desire to love these women, but instead the irony is, why kill somebody that you love? That is not love. We have a serious problem of wanting to own women because we are romantically linked to them. That is objectification of women. That is taking wrongful ownership. It's not yours. Our bodies are not yours to take. Our hearts are not yours to take. And a woman reserves the right to say no. A woman reserves the right to keep a baby that you helped her make. It is inside her body. A woman deserves the right to, transact with you according to the agreement without being killed. So this is quite disheartening that it is people that women have trusted, the women that have now met their demise. And the different murder methods that we are seeing is stabbings, blunt trauma, and dismemberment. They are not cute killings. There's nothing cute about killing. But in this particular case, there are absolutely no cute killings. Okay, so we are having gruesome stabbings, blunt trauma, meaning that these women are being hit across the head, in their bodies, on their bodies, and dismemberment. All the beheadings. Honestly, I lost count. At this point, I'm becoming a little bit desensitized. It's no longer shocking. Still very heartbreaking, but no longer shocking because of the number of cases where this is a story where somebody's body parts have just been chopped up. It's one thing to kill somebody, but it shows the level of heartlessness and just being dead on the inside and just being completely dehumanized towards the dignity of this particular person, the victim, for you to kill them and then continue and go on to dismember them. It is just really sad. And these killings have been happening within domestic spaces, within Airbnb rentals, and within forested areas. So for shame, for shame, for shame, for shame. If you want to kill somebody, do it in the open, do it with your chest. That's the challenge for any future killer out there. But in case that's you, also be convicted in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Kindly, I rebuke spirit of murder, the spirit of killing. The blood of Kenyan women is not yours to take, okay? And we have enablers. We have people that are collaborators, all right? When we learned about colonial history, post-colonial history, we understood that being a collaborator is not something to be proud of. And the enablers in femicide are police delays, okay? If our systems of justice were responsive, if there was quick response, then some of those women would be alive. Community silence, hush, hush, hush. Don't be so negative. We don't want to talk about this all the time. Oh, ilikuwa story yao, ni mapenzi, it's her fault. What was she doing in the Airbnb? Community silence and victimization of the victims, okay? They are like secondary victimization, just making it their fault. Victim blaming, shame on us as a society where we have failed to create a sensitization and awareness against these issues. And we have the last one, which is unregulated dating apps. Just having apps where there aren't enough measures to keep women safe, not enough security features. So whatever that looks like for the techies, the humans in STEM, if that's something that you're passionate about, that's an area that you are well skilled in, then go ahead and look into how to make dating apps safer for women. And I understand that if somebody is going to go ahead and meet the person that they're talking to, they will anyways. But is there a way to make these apps safer? Is there a way to verify the identity, of these humans, that if somebody disappears, is found somewhere dismembered, dead, unalived, then is there a way that these dating apps could release information to the authorities to say, hey, this is the person they were meeting, this is where they were supposed to meet at this particular time, so on and so forth. And just looking into what is not private anymore now that this the conversation is the subject of a crime, and more particularly a homicide named femicide. So, femicide is not a new story. As we can see, this is just the statistics from 2025. We said over 129 confirmed cases, but many reported, many unconfirmed, many missing bodies, many stories that have not yet come to their end because investigations are ongoing, which in Kenya often means nothing is happening. But it is undeniable that it's a big problem. It's undeniable that Kenya's women and girls are at risk of being killed for being women, being killed because they are women, being killed because somebody has decided to take ownership of their personhood. And every single victim that has come to their demise has a name, has a story, has a life that mattered, ladies and gentlemen, and they deserve to have their stories told. As gruesome, as sad, as heartbreaking as they are, they lived a life worth celebrating, even though their, how the story came to an end was unprecedented and unfortunate. And here on Sheversations, we call on all Kenyans to demand accountability and justice for all of these women. that is what I'm asking all of us to do, to come together. And different ways that we could do this is to fast track a femicide legislation. Okay, we need to establish trauma-informed courts, as already said. We need to enforce digital safety regulations, for example, on the dating apps and internet assisted gender-based violence, digitally assisted gender-based violence. And we need to mandate gender education in schools, as well as scaling up mental health support for youth and families, because people are not okay, people are not fine. Some of these killings are as a result of very broken mental health states. And we also need to enhance GBV desks with real accountability mechanisms. All right, so this is something that I need everybody, every single human, to look at. What is my role? I've never killed anybody. Maybe nobody around me has died as a femicide victim. But what needs to happen is that we need to look at this particular cases, all of these cases. We need to look at all of these cases and realize that there's something that can be done, because these are just everyday members of our society. So I hope that you have been inspired by the activist stories, and I hope that whatever anger, sadness, and grief is fueled or as a result of hearing once more that we are still talking about femicide, whatever it brings out in you, that it is channeled towards getting our country to become a better place, getting you to become an active participant in the fight against a femicide, so that a few years from now, a few months from now, we say, whoa, we did it. Women are not, tragically dying at the hands of men, at the hands of their fellow, humans. And we'll be better off for it. So for me, this is everything that I have for you. My name is Caroline Murote. This has been Sheversations every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Can't wait for our next conversation on Sheversations this coming Friday, same time, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The place is Power Radio, and I'm going to bid you a farewell. Stay blessed, stay safe, and look for the joy within you already.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
It's so hard to leave. Sing me a song when I am gone from you. It's so hard to leave. Sing me a song when I am gone from you. I won't be gone for long. Sing me a song when I am far from you. I won't be gone for long. Sing me a song when I am far from you, far from you. When all the lights fade and there's nowhere in the world to go, I know I would rather stay, but then again I'm unsure. Simpler times have all but faded, but I can't stay all the same. Simpler times have all but faded, but I can't stay all the same. Mama's wailing, Mongo's wailing from home. Mama's wailing, don't go away 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 from me. Mama's wailing, don't go away from me. Mama's wailing, for me, for me. to stay. The class gathered by the road. Nowhere in the world's the same. You're better off staying home. Simpler times have all but faded. I can't stay all the same. Simpler times have all but faded. I can't stay all the same. Simpler times have all but faded. I can't stay all the same. Simpler times have all but faded. I can't stay all the same. When I am gone from you, it's so hard to leave. Mama, sing me a song when I am gone from you. I won't be gone for long. Mama, sing me a song when I am far from you. I won't be gone for long. Mama, sing me a song when I am far from you, far from you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.